We're going to the dog park. Alright, y'all, let's talk about Joe Biden having a meeting at the White House with wind and solar people. Remember, on the same day that he had this meeting at the White House, that Granholm bitch went to meet with the oil companies. So Biden met with the wind and solar people and not the oil people, not the people that could help bring the gas prices down or inflation. These idiots think that we can transition from oil to wind and solar. They also think that at some point we can get to net zero, meaning we won't use oil for anything anymore by like 2030 or 2035. That's impossible. The crazy thing about this meeting, other than not meeting with the oil executives, was he walked in with a cheat sheet, which he was supposed to keep hidden, but he's so stupid he kept accidentally holding it up, and the camera people, the photographers, got snapshots of it.
Joe Biden was speaking at a meeting on federal state offshore wind implementation partnership when he accidentally flashed the card. It had a few very specific dot points for the president to follow. You enter the Roosevelt room and you say hello to participants. You take your seat, you give brief comments for 2 minutes, press departs, you ask Liz Schuler a question, you thank participants and you leave.
It literally, on the cheat sheet, tells him to walk into the room, because I guess if they didn't write that down, he would just wander around aimlessly? Probably. Guy's a fucking idiot. Joe Biden is the leader of the free world, apparently. He can't do anything on his own. He needs a babysitter, like a 5-year-old. Okay, if you're gonna send a 5-year-old out there with instructions, you would write it down just like they did for Biden. And walk into the room. Greet the people. They gotta tell him to greet the people. They actually tell Biden to sit down. So, and they put you in you walk into the room in all caps, in bold print.
A very detailed cheat sheet for the president to follow there. Take a look at the moment that Biden flashed the cheat sheet while speaking.
There's a difference between states that say may and they then say shall. If you have to say you shall give, you
The President of the United States has full-blown dementia. He never can talk to anybody without a teleprompter. He doesn't do interviews with the media. He doesn't talk to the press. His handlers won't let him. So that means his handlers have more power than he does. Biden can't do whatever he wants. He's got to listen to, his bosses. Supposedly we elected Biden to be our president. Supposedly. Most votes in history. My ass. But the people that are actually running the country, we don't know who they are. That's the creepy part. Well, we know they're far lefties, but that's all we know. Maybe it's Obama telling Biden what to do. Obama admitted that he would do a third term if he could do it from his basement in his pajamas and have an earpiece. Joe Biden, anytime he goes out and he talks and he's using a teleprompter, it doesn't matter if he's using a teleprompter, he will make multiple gaffes because he doesn't have his brain any longer. We have, you can't be president unless you're what, 35? So there's a minimum age, and there needs to be a maximum age. I mean, that goes for people in Congress too. In the Senate. Most of these people are geriatrics. The most senior politicians we have running the country are 70 and older. Having Joe Biden run the place, man, it's like watching a car accident. All you can do is watch. And just watch it happen. You're helpless. There's nothing you can do. Nobody wants Joe Biden to be president, but we're stuck with this guy for what, over 2 more years? We get the House and the Senate, and he's a lame duck. I don't know how much more damage he can do, but it's not good. Nobody wants Joe Biden to be president. Nobody. The crazy lefties do, I guess, but it's unanimous. Nobody wants him to be president, but we can't get him out of there. There's nothing you can do. You just have to wait it out. How many times has Biden fallen down, going up the steps to Air Force One? Remember when he supposedly pulled his dog's tail when he was naked getting out of the shower and fractured his ankle or something? Oops. Falling off of his bicycle, not while it was moving, while it was sitting still. And that's his bicycle. He didn't know to pull his foot out of the strap. Hopefully they've taken those straps off his bicycle. Hopefully they don't let that dipshit ride a bike anymore. He can barely walk. When he walks, he looks like a Frankenstein. He's so frail looking. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The whole country's embarrassed. The whole world looks at Joe Biden. He represents Americans. This is the most pathetic time we've ever lived in. Has there ever been another president in our history that's had dementia or lost all of his faculties? How many times has Biden fallen down when the cameras weren't on him? You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, how many times does Biden fall down? A lot, I'll guarantee it. And one of these times he's gonna fall down and break his fucking neck. We'll have to have a big party when that happens. Biden thinks he's gonna run again, or at least that's what they're saying. I doubt. Biden will probably live to the end of his presidency, but he's got full-blown dementia. And let's just say they break out the 200 donkeys and Biden wins again. He'd never lived to see the end of his term, man. He's in bad shape. You know, they're propping him up and probably injecting him with caffeine and Adderall just to get him around. Being the president is a tough job. And but good thing for Biden, he's not doing much of the work. People behind the scenes are. It's kind of like Weekend at Bernie's, where you just tote the body around. That's what they're doing with Biden. They stick him in front of the camera only when they have to. The rest of the time he's eating ice cream and taking naps. Remember why we have these Supreme Court justices. They've been saving our ass. We're winning because of these Supreme Court justices that Trump put in there. It's awesome. So they're losing the gun battle. They're losing the abortion shit, and they're gonna all get taken out in this red wave. Hopefully it's a red wave and there's not a bunch of mules involved. But so remember, you got to thank Trump for putting in these Supreme Court justices. But remember why Trump ran. We might have to thank Obama for these Supreme Court justices. There was do you remember the press corps dinner thing that Trump was at? And Obama was making a speech and he was just ripping on Trump. And he said, at least I can say I've been president. That's the moment he embarrassed Trump. And Trump decided, because of that, to run for president. So if Obama wouldn't have ripped on Trump and said, at least I can say I was president, you know, like, you can't never say that. That's the only reason Trump ran, I think. So if you want to trace it all the way back, we can thank Obama for these 3 conservative Supreme Court justices. That makes it even better when you think about it. You think on Biden's cheat sheet that he had there, that somewhere in bold print it would say, do not flash this towards the cameras. You know what I mean? He's so dumb he didn't know to not hold that cheat card up. Fucking moron. Well, if Biden does run again, there'll be millions of people that will vote for him that aren't, you know, that are actual citizens that go in and fill the bubble out for Biden. There will be people like that. We have people that live in this country, probably almost half of the people that live in this country are so stupid that shouldn't be allowed to vote. You know, I think if you don't pay taxes, if you pay taxes and you get all your money back at the end of the year, then fuck you. You don't deserve to vote. It's not your money that's being spent. We pay too much in taxes. We had a revolution over taxes, and what was the tax rate back then? It wasn't shit. You get taxed when you make it, you get taxed when you spend it. Over half of the money that we make, we have to spend in taxes, and we have to give it to a government that wastes it. Gives it to other countries that hate us. Hey, it looks like there's people at the park, guys. I swear to God, this is the funnest thing my dogs can do. When we go to the dog park, they get so excited. You see Biden making these speeches and then he yells. He gets mad. He's got the soft-spoken voice. And then he screams, he gets angry. That's a sign of dementia, where you get angry. And then he whispers. He whispers at people. That's another freaky thing. That's weird as hell. This is probably another sign of dementia. Jill Biden knew that Biden was fucked up in the head. And she didn't care. She could have talked him out of running. She knew he didn't have the faculties. You know what I mean? She didn't care about the country. She cared about the whole status thing. About being the first lady and her husband reaching that pinnacle of being president. I think the whole world came out. The whole woke world. The one world order. They did everything they could to make sure Trump didn't win. Trump got 10 million more votes than he did the first time he ran. And he still lost. It's pathetic, man. But go vote no matter what happens. We all have to vote. All of us. No matter what you think about what's going on with the elections, man, you gotta go vote. Because for every person that sits home, it's just gonna make it that much easier for the lefties to win. They gotta run Kamala. How can they not? There's no way they're not gonna run Kamala. So it's gonna be Kamala and Buttigieg. Those two idiots. Can you imagine? That'd probably be worse than having Biden in there. That'd be worse than having a president that's 80-something with dementia. Her poll ratings are worse than Biden's. I don't know who's dumber, Kamala or Biden. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Hey, look at all the dogs. Usually when we come this late, nobody's here. Check it out, guys. I love it. Alright, that's all I gotta say about Dickhead Joe. Can't stand that dude. I hate his guts. Fuck Joe Biden. We're here. We're here, guys. Yeah, I know. They're just like little kids. Don't stick your face in there. I know. Hey, what a contrast between how the media treats Joe Biden compared to how they treated Trump. Joe Biden's an imbecile, and the media doesn't talk about any of his gaffes, any of his mistakes, how he's ruining the country. It's pathetic. We don't have a media anymore, but you guys already knew that.